according to that, we are live. Welcome to the rebooted 2.5 Oyajis. I didn't have enough time to create the full interface that I wanted to create for Slobs. This is actually on Skype. But
Yes.
it's pretty good. So Victor can't actually see the screen that you're looking at. But yeah, welcome.
Now I can. Now I can. Oh, wow, that's really good quality, man. Looks really good.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, you can see on the stream itself. So it's great to see.
Yeah, look at that. Like it. Nice, nice.
So you see what I did? I've got it so we're both on the screen at the same time, so I can hold my face in
I'm a gift.
disbelief in all the things that you say.
Cool.
Let me. I wonder if that's gonna. Can you talk for a sec?
Yeah. Hey. It looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks like we're. Hey, I really like this setup, man. This is great.
Yeah.
If I'm not wearing a hat, if you wear a hat.
Just thinking, I think I need to cut that one out. People tell us how the sound and how the video and everything. Can you hear us right now? I just tried changing something, which I might not have been supposed to do. Boom. There we go, Tanakamura. Boom was indeed your first, the first comment. So it's good to see everyone. So this overlay is the same overlay that I've been using for Tokyo Tonight. There's actually a much better overlay that I paid money for that I haven't had time to set up. So it's going to be something like this. The idea, the concept of Victor and I at the same time. We can see each other, we can talk to each other. Your comments are in the middle where they damn well belong. And we were talking about, basically, we want to reboot 2.5 Oyajis doing what we did before, you know, which is featuring, you know, content creators and stuff. Let me just balance the audio a little bit there. Here we go. But the way that we thought we'd do it is, I made this thing for the purpose of promoting people's content, right? So we thought, you know, we'd work it into the show, where basically we would maybe share bundles that we think are good of recommended channels, or have people come on and recommend them, have you guys suggest bundles that are really good to share. We'll put that in the video information. And I don't know, I've got a ton of shirts and swag and stickers and stuff like that, so I don't know, I think we can make it like a competition each week.
And I've got lots of used underwear that, you know, if someone's interested, and we run out of t-shirts just as a backup.
Used underwear.
Yeah. My underwear, of course. Just in case you run out. You can send that out too.
Yeah. Sorry, not your underwear? Whose underwear?
Of course. My underwear.
Oh,
I wore it. I would wear it, of course, for 3 days or so it would have some authenticity, and you could get DNA tested and all that. Yeah. Just in case, you know, you got to give the people what they want.
I'm gonna get shut down. I'm gonna get shut down.
You would ask permission, of course, before we send people these things.
You'd ask permission to send it to people?
Yes, of course. We'd ask Louis C.K. if he would give us permission. Yes.
Okay.
Anyway.
So no, the point is, we're rebooting. The overlay is good, although it will improve.
Can I drink on the show?
Well, yeah, it's actually one of the rules. You have to drink. That's one of the rules that stays the same. Although Elon Musk, you can't. If you're Elon Musk, only Elon Musk is not allowed to drink on the show. You hear about that?
Make an electric car right after I drink this.
Yeah, well, you hear
or some rockets or something.
He smoked weed like on a podcast, and then like 2 of his like board members quit, and his stock dropped 10%. That was kind of funny. That was an expensive smoke.
Maybe because he didn't share. They were like, "Well, you're not sharing. You're holding out on us, dude." We quit.
That was probably it. So yeah. But what we're here to talk about tonight is, since I mean, definitely I want to use this show partly to get back into the community thing via the app, which I've spent 18 months making, and I want to make that a feature of the show. So I know I kind of like, I want to do a new, you know, I want to come up with a new name. Is the first thing. So for everyone, that middle window can be comments, it can be a guest, it can be showing, you know, stuff off and so on. I don't know, first thing is, you know, to make it more sort of global and understandable, and the idea that we want to feature creators and encourage people to watch creators. What do you reckon is a good new name for the show? The My Channers. Well, that's
Or keep that in the back of your head. And how is my voice? Someone said my voice is muffled. It could be just that I've got marbles in my mouth.
Yeah, it's the Marlon Brando technique. Yes, he actually does that for every single episode. He's always sort of done that. Good evening, Tokyo Drew, who is in the party mix at the moment.
Not Andrew, by the way. It's true.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I assumed.
He is the grandfather of the J-vlogging community, by the way, or soon to be. He will actually be a grandfather, which is amazing because he's, I think, younger than I am. So.
Well, some people get around town a little bit more. But, yeah.
I don't think his wife would appreciate that.
Maybe she would. Who knows? So I don't know. I mean, Victor, we're rebooting this, and if we're going to do this every week, which I got to admit, it did get to be a burden before. I'd like to do that as well.
Well, we didn't have a purpose before. I think now we've got a purpose. I think that my channel is going to give us an ability to chat. It sounds like a weak signal to Mike, Victor. Okay, let me.
Junior, no, that was me. Wait, Victor, you don't have to change the settings. I noticed on the levels on the inputs, I lowered your mic because it looked a lot bigger than mine, and I was worried it would be. So I changed it. Now I'll put it back.
My mic is very big. That's a big mic right there.
Yeah. Well, it's not how big it is.
It's big and black.
Mine's small and actually it's white. kind of grey, maybe. But yes.
Okay, it just got louder, so that's good. Okay, so hey, Cross is coming to Japan too to visit too. So I'll hopefully get to meet up with her.
So, guys, I mean, what do you reckon? Guests on the show, we've got Oji-chan, we've got my channel. I think we do better than my channel. I don't want to put like the name of the thing on it, but I don't know, like you need a catchy name that would be understandable to people just outside of Japan as well. Victor loud now. Now he's too loud.
So we need a name that is describes what we do, which is we promote other channels and two more old dudes. Two foot in the grave dudes. But we also need something that something that shows that we promote other channels, but we also talk about issues that are interesting to everyone interested in Japan too. I assume we'll still talk about that, no?
Yeah. White men in Japan who like YouTube. I mean, that's a very inventive and creative title.
You know what?
People search for that all
but
the
I'm
time.
a Mexican. I mean, they think I'm Mexican, so it would be confusing.
What is it? Pollos Hermanos. I've been watching that. Do you watch Better Call Saul?
Of course.
Oh man,
Jesus Christ! So of course, it's so good. Yeah, it's great.
I've been watching Glow. I watched both seasons of Glow recently. Have you seen?
Are they too good? I saw the first season. And I didn't like the first episode, and then I heard good things about it, so I gave it another chance and watched the whole first season. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I haven't gotten a season 2 yet. Yeah.
Season 2 is better. Hiko makes Jap. That sounds kind of confusing and racist. Kind of like racist confused. Yeah. Thank you, Andrew.
What did he say?
She said Hiko makes Jap.
Hiko makes Jap?
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit awkward. There was one thing about the way this captures the comments is it doesn't show the cool emojis the same way as in YouTube itself, which I don't know. I'm going to look at the chat box and how we can improve that. But yeah, so anyway, what's up with you, man? I actually saw a really cool survey today that said that your town is actually the town that most people think is the place they least want to live in Japan. Congratulations.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a great place to live. I think it's not a place that you want to actually visit.
Yeah.
But it's a great place to live. We've got a lot to do here. Good, fast internet. We got it's a great place to live. It's
the
affordable.
great thing about the fast internet is that it helps you feel like you're not living there when you're on the internet.
Exactly. That's so you can put on those Oculus, whatever they call them, and pretend you're out in space and internet somewhere else. Yeah. I know it's a good place to live. I enjoy living here. It's completely affordable. For one thing, and here's something else: we have yet to be hit by a major disaster.
Well, that is, you guys haven't been pre-disastered. That's a problem. That means that you're next. There was actually a survey done by Japanese earthquake experts where they looked at this earthquake in Hokkaido, and it didn't happen on a fault line. It happened inland. And they were like, oh, well, you know what? We guess that a Shindo 7 could happen anywhere. Yes. So there's nothing we can really do. Everybody's screwed.
Well, we're long overdue for a good revamping of our scenery. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. This comes up every week with our students and such.
We're getting better name ideas. Japan Creative J Slobs. Although Oh yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, hey, good to see Bald Berlitz Boy. He's the longest running troll ever. I got hats off to you, man. I can't believe you're still at it.
Yeah.
He calls Nagoya backwater, but yeah, a lot of people say that. You know, it's not a unique opinion. However, I mean, it is what the fourth largest city.
Yeah.
It's got a booming economy. You know, we've got Toyota right south of us.
It is.
We're completely central. So if you want to go to Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, up north, you know, you can get anywhere from here. It's got a major airport.
Yeah, it's the third biggest city. But the thing is, everyone always, because everyone always forgets about Yokohama, which is actually the second biggest city. They all assume Osaka's number 2 and Nagoya's number 3. But actually, you're right, it's 4. But you can call it 3 because seriously, you know, Yokohama's cool, but it's a suburb of Tokyo.
Yeah, I always feel that way about Yokohama as well. But
yeah.
But yeah, that's a great place to live. I feel like it's just got a bad marketing. You know, people. Yeah. It's just we need better marketing. We need to put some money into that.
So how do you like the party?
It was good. Yeah, it was good. This is gonna sound bad, but it was just big enough to feel like a party, and just small enough to spend a lot of time talking to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like too stressed. Like, cause a few years ago, you could barely walk in there. I mean, it was tight, and it was like 15 seconds per person. It just seemed ridiculous.
Talking, yes.
Yeah. I got to talk to people, so it was good.
Well, it is funny because, again, despite our constant best intentions, we really never get to actually talk very much to each other when we meet in person, do we?
We got to talk a bit. We got a bit of a chance this time. And Ryman Geigen came. I really enjoyed his performance.
Yeah.
I feel like I could have watched him sing all night. He was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't drink too much.
That was a plus. You didn't fight anybody this time?
Didn't fight anybody.
You were bit. No, who was bitten? There was that one a few years ago where someone was like biting people, right? And you went and delivered justice.
Yeah, he was trying to grab people and bite them, and then he grabbed my wife, and she's like, "That's enough."
Yeah.
You know, she's a good sport, but she's like, "That's enough. I don't want to be touched by this guy." Yeah. I forgot his guy. He's actually a nice guy, but he was drunk. He's a huge, muscular guy. I forgot his name. Maybe someone remembers. Anyway, it's all water under the bridge.
Yeah.
People are still offering names.
Yeah,
we'll get to that. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. It's not a... Hey, I've got a question for you. I came across a couple things that I thought were interesting.
Yeah.
The first one, I don't know if you know about this guy. Are you aware of Conan? Yeah, you must know. You know Conan, right? Conan, the TV host?
Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien.
I've heard of him. I mean, you know, I've actually never, I think, watched a whole show of his. Well, I know who he is.
I was not a big fan. I was okay. I thought, no big deal. But then I came across, I don't know how, I came across a video of him talking to his producer, Jordan Schlansky. And they are just genius, hilarious videos. They're so funny that I just went through and watched a whole bunch of them, and I decided I never disliked Conan. I just, I thought he's okay. But now I love him. And he's in Japan now.
Yeah, I've seen that in the news, and I've seen clips of his show, and I've never thought it was that funny. Yeah. So I don't know. I've never been motivated to watch more. If there's something like that specifically good, I'd be willing to check it out. But
it's amazing. Like after that, I became I would just bow at his feet. Oh, I'm not worried. I thought he was good. He's so funny, and with him and Jordan, and I look at his other stuff in a different light. I've seen some of his speeches that he's given to graduating classes. He's funny. He's very good.
Okay.
And he came to a city here in Japan that has called itself, they've renamed it themselves Conan after the Japanese anime. You know about the anime, right?
Yes, yeah, the
little boy
investigator kid, yes.
I'm sorry, it's an adult trapped in a boy's body who's a detective, right?
Oh, was that it? I think it was just a really smart kid.
Well, and because of that, he's allowed to be a little skebe, because he's actually got the lust of a man.
Really?
So there's some, apparently.
That was Shin-chan. Or is that?
But he's not. He doesn't have the lust of a man, though. He's just funny.
So what? He's like that guy from Different Strokes. What's his name?
Oh, Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman. He's like so. Conan's like I didn't know this. I mean, I know the existence of Conan. I know he's like a kid who's like a super detective. But I had no idea that there was this whole thing that he's a highly sexualized old man in a kid's
I
body.
don't know if he's highly sexualized. I've seen only a couple episodes, and I was confused because he was
would
being
be
sexual.
confused.
I was like, why is it? And I asked my wife something. She goes, "Oh, because he's trapped in a boy's body.
Okay,
And it's an
that's-
adult man." So apparently,
That's
I may be completely wrong.
But the show is really popular with kids, right?
I guess so. But so it's not super sexualized. It's just a little weird if you're an adult and you pick that up. You're like, why is he like lusting after that girl? Isn't he like 7 years old, 10 years old, or whatever?
Yeah, again, are you sure this wasn't Crayon Shin-chan? Where like.
No, I know Crayon Shin-chan. Yeah. He likes saying Zo-san when he pulls down his pants.
Yeah,
I like things like that. But it's just pervy. It's not. He doesn't really.
It's not it's like classy kind of
I mean, that's my son running around saying chin chin and oppai. He doesn't know what he's saying. He doesn't say chin chin. He says oppai all the time. By the way, apparently, I thought that was really weird. Did your son go through the oppai stage?
We didn't really have a big oppai stage. I mean, a
Well,
lot of kids do.
it's because he missed the. It's like a trend now. In fact, there was a news story about it. Oppai is really popular with kids right now.
I don't think that's like a recent trend. I think that's
No. It's peaking right now. Like there was actually a news story about it. Because that's all my son says right now. He's been doing it for 2 or 3 months.
But kids,
I thought it was
I think
okay,
through
that's-
all ages, generally, I mean,
Yeah,
you
of
may
course.
not remember, but
I think
you're
Radler
probably
is
into them
still stuck in the oppai stage. Maybe.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are stuck in the oppai stage. I could name several people. I wouldn't be so indiscreet as to do it, especially naming someone who's actually in the comments. But yes, there are people who are.
Well, I think I think he will own his his oppai stuff. He is my lodestone.
Lodestone.
Yes.
That's another word I don't understand.
I don't know either, but apparently it's something important that Vice President Pence always says. Okay, so
Viva
anyway,
la resistance. Yeah.
he is a person who is the focus of attention is your lodestone. There's someone who's always Lodestone. Okay, so anyway, you know about Conan. He's in Japan right now, so
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing those videos, especially with Jordan Schlansky, because Jordan Schlansky is with him now, so that'll be a lot of fun. Jordan Schlansky is like an elite, condescending robot, human thing,
I'm sorry.
and their interactions are hilarious. Okay, that's one thing I want to ask you about, but I actually have
The
something much
producer's a
heavier.
robot?
He acts
It's
like
a
a
heavy
robot.
robot.
He's
Oh,
robotic.
okay.
So I want to ask you about this because I have very little experience with this, and so will you because you're not Chinese. But this is something interesting. Okay, here's the headline: Different disaster, same story. Osaka quake prompts online hate speech targeting foreigners. Now this is a bit old, but I thought it was an interesting story. This comes from June this year. There's a earthquake in Osaka. And apparently, everybody. What happens when there's an earthquake is a bunch of Japanese right-wingers get online and tweet, "Watch out for crimes committed by foreigners," and they're talking mostly about Koreans and Chinese.
Sure.
Okay, so now the only other evidence or example of that I have is back to the fires of what it was at 1917 or something. There was a huge fire in Tokyo.
23. In 23, there was a great Kanto earthquake where they.
Okay, so I was off by 5 years.
Kobe
But anyway,
happened, by the way. Kobe earthquake. It happens in every big disaster. It happened.
Right,
in Kobe,
right. So that's what I want to ask you about. What do you know about this? Have you heard anything more about it? And is it happening this time? Because we've got the Hokkaido thing. We've got the I didn't hear anything about this time about the tsunami. I mean, I'm sorry, the typhoon.
Well, Japan's always been like a village with gossip and rumors and stuff like that. These things sort of have always spread fast, even before the internet in Japan. Like, particularly when there are big disasters or whatever. What happened in 1923 were some people deliberately and maliciously, and remember in 1923 Korea was part of municipal Japan. It wasn't, and technically it was being colonized, but Koreans could actually, they were Japanese citizens. They could vote in Japanese national elections. Heaps of them moved over to Japan.
Even when they were in Korea.
So yeah, of course. I mean, it was so Korea was like Hokkaido or Okinawa or something like that back in those days. And there were tons, of Koreans who, this was before the war. So the forced labor happened during the war, but even before the war, there were plenty of Koreans in Japan. But when you have a sudden influx, like a EU type situation where you have lots of Chinese, Taiwanese, and Koreans suddenly moving into Japan, there were people in Yokohama in particular. Yeah, the situation there was that there were basically racists and nationalists who took advantage, and they said, "Oh, the Koreans are poisoning the wells," and this is something that happened against Jews in Europe in crises. Everywhere there's always rumors that when there's like a civil defense emergency, that somehow the foreigners, the people who aren't part of the community, are the risk or the danger that we need to lobby against. And apparently, yeah, there were groups that were doing organized massacres of Korean people after that 23 quake,
like
and,
lynching. So it's a
not even
little
lynching,
bit
like actually rounding up and shooting, like Nazi type stuff. It was really mean. I mean, there were thousands of people were massacred.
so it's a little bit like the way they treated blacks in America back in the day.
Parallels. But it was more. It was a kind of like, so even in New Zealand in the old days, they used to call racism superstition, which is it's a bit of a weird term, but it's sort of like, so my grandma talks about, she lived in a part of New Zealand with a lot of Chinese people, and they talked about superstition. But it's like that. It's you believe that they do magic, or they do voodoo, or they poison the water, or something like that. And this is kind of. Obviously it's not exactly like that today, but this whole thing when all the power's out and the police are everywhere, and some people decide to go online and say, "Oh, I heard a rumor that there are Chinese people, burglarizing houses," when there's an outage, and people find that believable, and then they start accosting Chinese people in the street saying, "Are you a burglar? Is that your suitcase?"
Right.
That sort of thing. And yes, that happened, and unfortunately, there are scumbags like this in every country, and this happens in these situations. And unfortunately, as much as even me, I get lulled into thinking, well, Japan's actually, not as racist as everyone says, but the same things do happen. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's still happening. Yeah. We as
suck. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we as not part of the Chinese and Korean community don't really see that too much, or we don't experience it firsthand. But yeah, I guess it's.
I mean, if you went to parts of even in Aichi Prefecture, where the towns with Peruvians and Brazilians or whatever, or you go to Guma, you'll get it. You'll get people who don't trust there's a lot of those kids that the kids of those families didn't go to school.
Dude, Peruvians don't trust Peruvians. That's true.
Well, yeah, but
and we trust Brazilians even worse, even less.
Yeah. So yes, people continue to suck and the world turns, but yeah, that apparently is real, and some people got called out about it, and fortunately now it's becoming actually illegal, and people are actually getting in trouble for it. But yeah. But so no, anything else that's been bugging you lately?
Oh no, well, a couple things, but I got them off my chest the other day, and the Louis C.K. thing.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Did you see my video? No, he didn't see my video.
I didn't see your video. I saw your Facebook thread on it, asking, is it what? Can a person who, is it okay?
I didn't give an opinion, but people assumed they knew what I thought. No, I thinking about it a little bit longer, I came to an interesting conclusion, which was quite kind of sexist, but I think very honest. When you're dealing with a woman who accuses you of or regarding sexual improprieties,
as we all do, I suppose. Yes.
I suppose. So your instinct is basically, if you're intelligent, is just to give up and say, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, didn't mean to go there, apologize. You don't even attempt to defend it or block it, you basically give up and try to get out of that conversation as quickly as possible, because it's a losing proposition.
Well, it's definitely a losing.
Generally speaking,
there's no real positive outcome. Yes.
Right. However, if you and I were to have the same conversation, we would probably there'd be a lot more back and forth.
Well, yeah, but you're jumping straight to the thing where, well, if you're accused of something serious like that and you're innocent, you think that
not even if you were accused. If you're just discussing whether something is acceptable or not. With a woman, it's like, oh no, it's not acceptable, and you can't even. Oh, I'll give you a very simple example. Matt Damon said, "There's a difference between grabbing someone's ass and rape." And Minnie Driver says, "You cannot categorize or judge how we feel about any of those things. That is not your place." So basically, she said he has no right to argue anything, even though it's a fucking common. Excuse me, it's a common sense observation that there is a difference between grabbing someone's ass and rape. But he's not allowed to take part in the conversation. And he being a smart and sexist man, just gave up and walked away. And what did he do? He donated money to some organization that they formed to help women. Help women because they need help, because they need men's help. So it's just the funny thing that I observed or realized is that all these men who are kind of helping women or not engaging women or challenging women on some of these arguments are actually being sexist. Yeah, exactly. We're actually being sexist by saying, okay, whatever you say, honey, here's some money, goodbye. Even if we didn't do anything. Another example, Mark Wahlberg gets called out for something his agent did. His agent set up. Right? His agent set up this great deal where if they have to do any reshoots, he gets $2 million, and that's what happened. It had nothing to do with sexism at all. It just had the fact that he had a good agent, good manager. But when it came out that his coworker or co-star, or whatever, didn't have the same deal because she had a different manager and a different deal and a different contract, it looks like he's sexist. So what does he do? He just gives his salary away to the Me Too movement, to some organization, some charity, because it's easier than arguing. Logically, you say, okay, you don't want to deal with women because we are sexist about women. We don't. And if a man were to give you the same argument, you'd be like, no way, man, screw you, and let me explain it to you. But with women, you just shut your mouth and give them some money and walk away because...
Well, thank you for the idea of Al Bundy. It's good to have you on the show. That's basically the intro to Married with Children. It's giving money.
I'm just observing this. That's what's happening out there. Mark Wahlberg giving money away for no reason at all. He didn't do anything wrong.
Hey, well, he's got a funky bunch to look after. Marky Mark. He started small. He's just, that he was going to be in New Kids on the Block, but he was in jail when it launched. Yeah, so
good for him.
His brother is in it, but then he went solo and he became much bigger. And it turned out he's actually quite a good actor. I love his movies.
He's a good actor. He is a good actor. I like him very much.
Not all of his movies, but Boogie Nights, one of my favorite movies ever.
And Burt Reynolds' least favorite movie ever.
Oh, really?
Rest in peace, yeah.
Yeah, that's another one, yes.
Well, we grew up...
movie. Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit was like, yeah.
He fired his manager after that movie came out. He said, you talked me into this stupid movie, it sucks, you're fired.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They asked him to do it 6 times, and he turned it down 5 times, and then he finally said yes, and then he regretted it.
I was reading, I don't know if this is like stuff, but I heard that he was offered and turned down the roles for Han Solo in Star Wars and John McClane in Die Hard. And
Cuckoo's Nest, I think. Cuckoo's Nest.
Wow.
No. Was that Cuckoo? Or was that? I think it was Cuckoo's Nest. I think he turned down Cuckoo's Nest. But yeah, it would have been. Could you imagine Han Solo had been Burt Reynolds?
I kind of could. But blew my mind.
Well, Burt Reynolds is more obvious than Harrison Ford.
Right. Harrison Ford was unknown at the time. He'd only been like a minor role in American Graffiti, I think. He was a carpenter, exactly. Right? He wasn't an actor.
Yeah, exactly. He was a carpenter.
Yeah. So yes, no.
Now he's an arrogant Hollywood big shot dating Hollywood chicks.
Well, he just plays the same actor in every movie. That's the thing, but
Almost every. Yeah.
No,
there's only like one where.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, well, it's a shame, man. He really went at the end. Huh? Anyway, so that was one thing that was interesting me recently. Yes. Anything else that's in the news that's been occupying your thoughts?
I don't know. Not particularly. I don't know. I'm always interested to hear what what's been getting you up. So I want to come back to this. So basically, if I came and so if you said something that I thought was sexist and I wanted to challenge you on it and say you shouldn't say that, you would actually pay me money? Is that what you just said? No,
because you have a penis. So if you had a vagina, I would just drop the subject and walk away. But because you have a penis, and I know, and I have some hope of actually changing your mind, and I guess you know what? And to be fair, because we're probably we have the same status, we both have penises, so we can argue. But with a woman, they always throw that at you. You don't know what it's like. You can never understand. So you're like, and it's true. I mean, it is true. We can never really understand. Nobody leers at me when I'm walking down the street. You know, when I go on the subway, nobody's checking out my ass. You know, but
They
believe me,
might
every
be.
single woman that jumps on the subway, I'm checking out her ass. So I know that they're suffering because I'm the one, you know, making them suffer, even if they don't notice. So
Oh.
yeah, of course I'm joking. Of course I'm joking. But no, seriously. I mean,
But
there's some nice legs on the subway that I notice sometimes,
there's that thing with Japan,
and they must be suffering by the fact that I notice that they have
and
nice legs.
and whenever confronted with it, so if one of those ladies turned around and said, "You're looking at my ass," you would pay money and run away. That's what you're saying.
Let me just take out my wallet here. Um,
Yes.
yeah. No, so with a man, you would probably try to argue the point, and but with a woman, you know better and you just
Well,
keep your mouth shut. So in
with
a
a
way, that's
man,
kind of a sexist attitude.
you'd assume, yeah, I wasn't looking at your ass. I was looking at the sports magazine rolled up in your pocket. You know, I get that. I get that. Um, so,
Gaijinka says, I understand both sides of the conversation. Okay. Well, we're not actually
um,
arguing. I'm just explaining.
well, Mata Gaishinka is actually a very interesting perspective on this whole thing, given that you
Yes.
gave a very explicit biological line. You know, that isn't always that clear. You know, so yes, that's
Mm.
usually like. So you don't think that women can be sexist against women?
Oh, of course they can. They can be sexist. I'm saying that we are. It's fruitless to attempt to publicly argue with a woman. And so what is happening in Hollywood is everyone just gives in and shuts their mouth and says, "Okay, here, you know, let's just donate some money to
Well,
some organization like Ben Affleck did." I mean, not yeah, Ben Affleck, yeah, yeah, Ben Affleck. He got accused of grabbing some woman's boob 26 years ago. It comes back to bite him 26 years later. He apologizes for it, but he doesn't even remember. But he says, "I guess it must have happened." You know, and him and Matt Damon open up some. They both donate some money to some. I think they actually started some organization to help women who need help, who are being victimized. I don't know.
okay. Well,
So they put
it's
their
good
money
to
where
know.
their mouth is, but at the same time, they don't even attempt to argue with
Mm.
anyone who disagrees with them because it's fruitless, which is a sexist attitude to take towards women. That's all I'm saying.
Mm. It's sexist to assume that it's fruitless.
Yes,
Mm.
but that's what everyone does. It's a smart move. So that's one thing that bothered me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, speaking of sexist people, I'm sexist. I try not to be sexist, but I do my best. I guess
It's innocent.
I was raised in a homophobic atmosphere.
Mm.
As a result, when I see men, even though he's heterosexual, men like Rucher, the blonde 20 something Japanese TV talent who's all over TV all the time. He's very effeminate. Rucher.
Mm.
I'm sure if you see his picture, you would know. He's
Mm.
all over TV. So it's this young man
Mm.
who's not gay,
Mm.
but he's very effeminate and
Mm.
wears makeup and lipstick. And he actually got married and had a kid.
Mm.
And he's standing up
Common
for,
story.
and he got a tattoo of his son right on his
Ah, I saw that. Yeah, the tattoo thing. People didn't like
right.
him getting a tattoo.
And people
Yeah.
got all crazy. And he's standing up for his. He thinks it's fine to get tattoos, and he's taking a stand. And I was impressed by him. But you know the way I was raised makes me immediately cringe when I see someone like him. I just get over it. No. I mean that's not. It's
Yeah.
nothing I'm proud of. I
Yeah.
mean like mata gaishinka. You'll understand this. I was raised to think people who are LGBT are freaks or abnormal. But I know that's not true, and I do my best to fight against those things that were kind of the brainwashing in my
Oh,
early years of my life. You know.
so it's well that's an interesting point in itself because so the whole idea is right. The only way you can fight it is by being self-aware of it, right? By acknowledging in yourself that I've
Yeah.
got this, and if I don't check it, it might come out. So I've got to be self-aware, right? And
Yeah.
that's called what a lot of companies like you know big companies Google and Facebook do this. They do subconscious bias training. And the idea of subconscious bias training is to try to make people self-aware about the prejudices that they have that they're probably not aware of. And the whole
Right.
point is that it's dangerous if you're not aware of them, but if you're aware of them, you can generally manage them and at least make sure. And it requires you to acknowledge that everybody has prejudices and biases, and you know,
Yeah.
and they can be racist, they can be sexist, and you know, well, ideally you shouldn't have them, and we have this whole thing, oh no, no, I'm not racist or I'm not sexist, but it's actually the denial of it makes you more at risk of expressing it, or without, and it makes people get very defensive and upset if they're accused of it. Whereas being a little bit self-aware and self-honest about it at least lets you control how you come out so that you don't trigger those problems. So that's why these companies that have all these employees who want to make it a place where anyone can work, they want to do this training to make people self-aware, but then of course you have this huge pushback by these anti-SJWs that are saying that this is kind of a white man shaming training. This is telling us that we're all racist by default, and and maybe there's good reasons that men get all the good jobs, and maybe we why should we be ashamed of saying that we think women?
Well, men work harder. Male doctors work harder than female doctors. You saw that in the news the other day?
That's another long discussion, but yes. Well, I don't know even where to start with that. But they have babies and they work at the same time. I mean, men have it easy. I mean, you must admit, now there's this expectation in society that women are supposed to have fulfilling careers. And yet they still disproportionately, I mean, despite all my best intentions, I'm told that I fail miserably at balance, and my wife works. A lot of people work and maintain careers while having the disproportionate burden of looking after things at home, right? So
I think we're handicapped by the fact that we're married to women.
You can marry men. I mean, you can go to lots of countries.
See, yeah, they have an advantage, and a bigger wardrobe. They're married to someone who's of course, that's a. Of course, I'm joking. Don't take it so seriously. So anyway, but I'm impressed with people who are fighting against. I'm impressed as someone that I, in my earlier incarnation as a high school boy, would probably have thought was a fag. I probably would have said he's a fag in a very condescending way. But now, I would never say that now, of course. But now I look at him and I think he's. I didn't like him because he was so flamboyant. It just kind of annoyed me. Why do you have to be so flamboyant? But
don't ban YouTube.
And he's not even gay. He's not even gay.
He's a guest, okay. It wasn't me.
It's just kind of confusing, But I think he's great, and I take my hat off to him for standing up for people and to say, basically he said this: if you want to change society, you can't be silent and just live in fear. You just got to be yourself. If you think tattoos are fine, then wear your tattoo proudly and don't worry about the consequences. And that's the only way you're going to get people to change their minds. And I think that's and I applaud.
Yeah.
I applaud him, and I'm embarrassed by my own bigotry, which I fight against, but I do recognize it's still there because I cringe when I see him sometimes. But if I met him, I would be happy to meet him and shake his hand. And I mean, it's not an overwhelming cringe. It's like being allergic to cats or something. I don't know. They're nice. Cats are nice. I'm just a little allergic.
I suffer from that. So bringing it back a little bit. So what's this going to be about on the Reboot? Of course we can do this, and this is easy. We can do this endlessly, and we've done this before. But we want a bit of a mission this time. I do have the logo up there.
Yes, and that's originally my name. Give Me a Break, man, is to give other people breaks. So I'm excited to help you out in this endeavor.
Yes.
Which is to promote other channels, and this my channel is a great way to do that.
Well, that's the whole point.
Can you explain bundles? I think the bundle things would be a good place to start, so we can show people how we're going to be sharing our finds.
Good idea. So basically, the whole idea of my channel is it actually does a lot of things now. I've been working on it for a long time, but fundamentally it does two things. It lets you make bundles, and it lets you just automatically play them. And what a bundle is basically my channel will connect to your YouTube account and your subscriptions. And the thing is, most people, if you've, like Victor and I, we've had subscriptions for like 10 years, so we've got so many subscriptions, of so many different types of channels. It's impossible to organize anymore. So, there's Japanese YouTubers that I like, there's American comedy that I like, there's music that I like. So basically, YouTube had this feature a few years ago that they only had for like a few months, where they let you organize your subscriptions into groups, into collections, they called them. And then people weren't really using it, so they took it away again. But basically, I want that feature. I want to be able to group all my favorite YouTubers. I want to group all the Japan vloggers I want to support. I want to group all the comedy channels that I enjoy watching when I've had a stressful day. So a bundle is something which it's a feature of my channel that you can, it restores this functionality that YouTube took away, where you can create your own curated bundles of just channels that you like. And this is something you can actually get Chrome plugins that will do this for you on YouTube, that will actually let you organize your subscriptions like that. But my channel does one other thing which goes beyond that, which is that after you've created that bundle, you can just press click and it will just play whatever the newest videos of all the channels in that bundle are, so that basically you've got like a TV channel made of the channels that you put into that. So it's like,
and it will take you out of YouTube in a way, in that you don't have to deal with YouTube suggesting what you should be watching next.
Well,
you can completely choose what you want to watch.
Well, that's the point. The point is that, you know, when you watch YouTube, you're watching content that YouTube tracks you, it follows you, it, you know, watches you at night, you know, all that sort of stuff, so that it's got a very clever algorithm that's very good at predicting what it thinks you'll want to watch. And we all know we get trapped by it, right? We see it, we get distracted, or we click on, you know, the high school fight, or the, you know, football bloopers or whatever. At the
party I was talking to, I don't remember who it was, I think it was Tia, the photographer, who says YouTube sucks because I clicked on a Judge Judy video 3 months ago and it's still coming up in my feed, and I don't want to watch Judge Judy, but it's being suggested to me all the time. I have nothing against Judge Judy, but it's not what I want to watch, and it keeps getting automatically playing after the next video. So the
point is, YouTube relies upon having a very sophisticated algorithm which predicts what you're going to want to watch and show it to you, and it piles all the ads on the videos that it knows people are going to want to watch the most and that it recommends. But the point is, you know, it makes you feel like you're not in control. I know when I go to YouTube what I want to watch, and I don't want to be dragged away. So what my channel lets you do is it lets you create your own algorithm that you completely customize for yourself. You get to tell it in advance, this is the stuff I really want to watch on YouTube. These are my photography channels. These are my, and when I'm going there and I want to watch, you know, based on your subscriptions, it lets you create your own algorithm for what you want to watch, and you don't have to fight against the YouTube one. That's the thing. So the whole idea is it's the same as YouTube. It's to help people enjoy YouTube more and watch more YouTube. It's a standard player and everything, but the point is that you get to control the videos that come into your feed. Which is something I wanted. It just makes it really easy to keep up with creators that you like to watch. You know?
Well, but for us, for this new incarnation of 2.5 Oyajis, the great thing about the bundle system is that you can share the bundles with other people.
Yeah.
So whoever we feature 1 week, we will be able to, if we feature 3 people, we can actually make just a tiny bundle for those 3 people and share that in description. So you don't have to go through and click on each one and subscribe to each one. Of course, I mean, you can choose later, but you get a chance to watch them all.
So that's the point. Like for the party, I made a bundle of all the people who came to the party who told me the YouTube channel. So that bundle anyone can use, and you can just click on it, and it's just going to have the latest videos that people who went to the party made. So you can actually watch it and see what Tokyo Drew is making, and you know, your latest post, and what top tier photography put up. So yeah, it's just a great way that you can actually, so you don't have to even go and, if you borrow a bundle, if you take a bundle that someone shares, you can subscribe to the channels as they pop up and as you're watching them, but you can basically, you can follow and track people that, you know, channels that you want to create. So the cool thing is that you can curate your own using your own subscriptions and share them, but if you can also watch bundles that other people created. Even if it's channels that you didn't subscribe to, and if you see content that you like that was shared with you, you can go subscribe to it and add it to yours, or make your own bundles. So I really want to emphasize that it's a really cool way that we can promote bundles as a way to promote the channels within them and the content that they're making, and help people to watch them and go in and support them.
You know, it's a great. I love the sharing thing. I think it's going to be interesting, and also other people. You guys can. Make your bundles and send them to us, and give us make it easier for us to find new people that way.
Yeah.
Right.
I just got to
instead of sending one channel.
I'm hoping that the video continues working, but yes.
Seems to be fun over here.
Yeah, it looks good here too. But that's it. So basically, as part of our mission, and we want to get guests, right? So you know, people who want to come on and talk to us, you can join in this conversation. But I'm going to ask people who come on to make bundles. Also, if we have people who watch, if they send us bundles that they made or found or that they recommend, I think every week I want to pick one that's, you know, like the bundle of the week or whatever. We'll put them all in the video information so that you can go check them and watch them yourselves. But I've got a bunch of these t-shirts which I'm happy to send out to people as well. If you want a shirt, try my chat, make a bundle. I'll send you a shirt if
you're
like
sitting at home naked, cold, you know, this is your chance.
That's pretty much my life.
Yeah. Did you make a bundle you made a bundle of all the people? I asked you to send me that bundle, but you didn't send it to me.
You know what? I should.
Can you share that? Can you share that in the description? A bundle of all the people who appeared, went to the party, who came to the party.
Yes. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Say something entertaining while I go and do that right now.
Okay, so entertaining.
Yes.
Entertaining.
Yes, be funny.
So
be
I think
funny,
the. So if you put your fingers in a fish, does it smell like a woman? I think it's something we gotta consider. You know?
YouTube, this isn't me. I didn't do this. Okay, this isn't my fault. YouTube.
Zombies are really skinny. You notice that? What do you think? Is it the diet or all the walking? It could be, you know, keto, because they only eat meat. You know, could be the ketosis taking over there. Could be all the walking. I'm not sure. There we go.
Where did I put that bundle?
Do you think zombies stop every once in a while when we're not looking and like just eat a salad, like, or just eat a bush or something?
Well,
it's got to be hell for their digestive system.
Well,
they never talk about zombies taking poops. You know, they must get pretty constipated all that meat. I don't know. Oh, Mandy, how you doing?
oh,
What's the super?
Well, yeah,
You just found out.
Victor has to take off an item of clothing every time you pay money.
The super chat. The fish choke was better. You can use a fish choke. I put my fingers in a fish and tasted just like a woman. I smelled just like a woman. Okay, sorry about that.
Actually,
super chat is where you pay a certain amount of money and your comment. Oh my God! Look at that. You just got a big donation.
Shiakazi did, but seriously, well, I'm happy, but you don't have to do. But the point is, well, actually, that's great because that paid for that's the amount that I paid for a super cool overlay that will make this look even cooler next week. Actually, so that's appreciated.
Great, yeah, great.
But
great.
But what I'll tell you what I really
look at the top of the page. Look at the top of the chat. You can see her. You can see that Shiakazi's name or icon is there. It'll be stuck there for a while because she paid $20. So it basically gets your attention to your comment.
Yeah.
Right.
So it
ensures that we will answer your comment. So Mandy Marie, sorry I missed you when you were in Orlando and I was in Tampa with kids. There was this dream. It was really just a dream of actually seeing her again. But she's a great girl, and she knows the Blue Man Group. I think. Well, actually, she knows all these famous people. I don't know why, but she talks about anyway. But she lives in Orlando now. I hope it's okay. I dropped docs on you.
Also, if you mark me, because it's my channel, it'll also highlight, and so I will see it that way. And I see that Tyrone D did ask, speaking of ads, how do ad blockers affect you as YouTubers? I don't make that much to begin with. Do you have an opinion on ad blockers?
Ad blockers are bad. If you support someone, if you really like someone's content, then do two things. Either sign up for RedTube or sign up for their Patreon. Or don't do ad blockers at the very least, because ad blockers just take away any chance. And it's a minor thing. I mean, you don't get to see an ad, but you're taking away 20 cents or 30 cents or whatever it is we get per view. I don't know what it is. It's minor. To give you an idea, on a good video, on a decent channel, you will get the most I've ever seen is $5 or $6 per thousand, but the average is more like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So you're taking away that, and it's not a big deal, but it kind of adds up. Like if everybody does it. Right? Oh, I'm sorry. It's called YouTube Prime now, RedTube. Felix, sorry. It's called. It used to be called YouTube Red, and that was the problem. That's why they changed it. No, they used to have a big marketing problem with that because everyone said, "Isn't that a porn site?" And so they changed the name to YouTube Prime.
I'd like to ask everybody not to Google RedTube right now.
Yeah. I think it's called YouTube Premium, YouTube Prime. What is it? Do you remember?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'm
RedTube,
almost
I
afraid
think,
now. Whatever I say is going to be.
is a porn site, I think. I don't know, but there's a premium version of YouTube that you
Right.
can pay. I think it's $9 a month.
YouTube Red, I think it's called.
No, they changed the name. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I mean.
It's called
It's
YouTube
called
Premium. No,
it's called YouTube Red, but because people were thinking RedTube and RedTube's a porn site, they changed it because YouTube Red.
no, they changed it to YouTube Premium after YouTube Red. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Look it up. And I looked into this. It's called YouTube Premium. It used to be YouTube Red.
But it was
But
never.
they were having too many problems with people getting it confused with the porn site.
But yeah, it was never RedTube. That's the thing, and that was where the problem came from.
Right. Yeah, it was never RedTube. It's YouTube Premium, and it's actually a decent system. So every month, I make about $30 to $50 from YouTube Premium subscribers. So what they do is they'll watch my videos. They don't see any adverts, but YouTube Premium will pay me, I guess, a tiny percentage of whatever they're paying them. And yeah, it's not bad. Anyway, but YouTube is still the one of the smallest net streaming companies out there. You've got Hulu's number one, I think, then Netflix, then Amazon Prime, and then YouTube. YouTube's way down there, but
yeah, and this is
it's
where
got 5%, 6%. Yeah.
and YouTube TV there is being mentioned as well. Well, that's kind of the thing. The thing about YouTube Prime or Premium, whatever it is, and YouTube TV, is that they have paid content. They pay people to go and make TV series exclusively for them, like the Karate Kid series, which I haven't seen, but I want to see.
It's really good. It's really good.
I do want to see
That made me get YouTube Premium.
So there we go. So I should get it too.
It's really good. It's a lot of fun. They did a great job.
But the point is that if you are like people who are here in the comments and actually like watching regular user-made YouTube content, you can actually, they make YouTube TV and YouTube Premium really convenient. They add a lot of features to make that easy to watch like TV, but they don't put it on the normal site because they want people to sort of follow the algorithm. But the point is, for me personally, there's enough content already on the free YouTube site, that is ad funded. Why not just make that easier to watch? And that's the idea of my channel, is to make all the free content that we make easier to watch. I mean, YouTube will make the pro content easier to watch, and that's natural, that's their business. But to the extent that we're all trying to support our creators, we're trying to support the community, why not make it easier to keep up with the little, small creators and medium, even big creators, but why not give us control over the rest of YouTube? And that's the idea, just add some extra features.
Hey, I have to confess something.
Sure. I'm afraid.
I don't actually have YouTube Premium because they don't offer it in Japan yet.
That's why I was surprised. But how did you watch the
I watched it illegally on streaming sites.
YouTube. This is him. This isn't me. Okay. This is
as soon as I finished it, I promised myself I'm going to get YouTube Premium. And then I went and checked, and they don't have it in Japan yet, so I'm stuck watching it streaming. Actually, the law in Japan is that you cannot download videos, but you can stream things. That's legal.
Yeah.
So I watched it that way. But it's a really enjoyable show, and they got season 2 coming out next year. It's a lot of fun. You should definitely see it. It's got 100%, I think, on Rotten Tomatoes. It super high rating.
Yes.
Like nobody could believe it.
Well, and this is the thing with Japan. It's like the same with the music and with Netflix. I mean, it's like Westworld 2 or whatever. I want to watch it and I'm happy to pay for it, but they don't just release it here. And it's even worse in New Zealand, because half the time with New Zealand they just forget to include the country on the release list. So yeah, we always have suffered.
New Zealand is a country. That's true. Yeah.
It's nice when people remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's a nice country.
Well, it's got a lot of sheep. But yes. So all of this, I'm always happy to pay, and I'm looking forward to doing that. But the point is, so yes, there's the paid content, and I love Netflix. And speaking of which, Felix DVRS is asking, did we watch Wild Wild Country on Netflix? And yes, I did.
Oh, but I want to see Wild Wild Country. Oh, you've seen it? I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
it's on my list. Yeah.
It's okay. There are better documentaries sort of on those themes on YouTube, but it's pretty good. But yeah.
I think Glow is a great documentary.
Yeah.
Okay. But back to you're frozen. Okay, there you go. You were frozen for a second. Back to your My Chan list of the people who came to the party. You actually made that, and And you made
Made
it
a
on a
bundle.
different channel though, on a different bundle. He made it so he made a collection. All the people came to the party using a different channel, but you can still share that bundle
Right.
and watch it on your other channel.
So I've got like bundle. I made experimental channels in the past just for trying out like Japanese language content and stuff like that. And so
Mhm.
there were no subscriptions on that channel, so it made it really easy for the party actually because there were no other channels, so it was really easy to group them all at once. Whereas on my main Hiko Simon channel, I've actually I had when I started with my chan, I actually had more than 1,000 subscriptions. I had like 1,100, 1,200 subscriptions.
That's
But
amazing.
that's over like 9 or 10 years, and I actually found I found a way within my chan that I could actually see whether the channels still have content or if they're shut down or if they haven't updated in years.
Yeah,
And you can actually organize all your
I
subscriptions.
really like that function.
And you can unsubscribe to all the dead channels. So I was actually able to use my chan. So these are the other features, the bells and whistles that we've added. The main thing is you can make bundles, but the other cool thing is I actually now I've only got 800, 700 channels now. But there were like 400 channels that were just dead, that were like clogging up my subscriptions. I couldn't even remember what they were, and I was able to go in, confirm that they were dead channels, and unsubscribe within my chan. It's another. That's a really cool tool for people like me who have heaps of old channels and sort of out of date and just too many subscriptions to be able to look at it. So yeah, I did that.
When did you start on YouTube?
About 2008, about a year or two after
Okay.
you were like
Okay.
2006 or 7, right?
My first channel was 2005, 2006. Yeah.
Yeah, you were right in the
But
beginning.
Right. So while I was second generation. I think there was one group that was right before me. But the only problem with that is that it makes when I look at the great thing about my channel is that I can go and find those channels again because it lists them all,
Yes.
and you can see them, and you're like, oh, I remember this channel. I wonder what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as well, it is fun. I spent a few days not watching YouTube and just organizing my subscriptions. It was fun to put them in bundles. And another little thing which I added as I was using the site myself, I thought it'd be really cool if I could like eliminate all the channels that are already in bundles, so I can see what's not assigned yet, so I could find them and organize them all. So I added that feature as well. So the point was I was trying to eliminate so that all my channels were either unsubscribed or in a bundle and organized. And yeah, it took a few days, but it was exactly that. It was a lot of fun going through and remembering. Oh, I love that channel. I'm going to go watch that channel again.
Bradbury asked how we can tell. How can it tell it's an old channel?
Not so much an old channel, just whether it's been inactive for a long time. So it actually it won't show right away. It'll take.
It will show no content though. Like if
Yes.
that person's erased all their content,
Yeah,
it'll
no
show you
videos.
that.
It'll say no videos. So it takes 2 or 3 days because it's a background job which runs with my chan. But if you connect your channel to my chan and you log in a few days later, you'll see every channel will have when they were most recently updated, and you can organize your channels to show in the sequence of most recently updated,
Right.
including no videos at all. And sometimes this is how we found out. Sometimes there were channels that we know have hundreds of videos, but the users have just privated everything or shut them down.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you go there and there are no channels, there are no videos there anymore. And
I was surprised. Like Regan the vegan, an old friend of mine.
Yeah.
Who Regan here in Japan. I'm here in Nagoya. We hung out and he privatized all his videos.
which
So that
nothing
channel's
wrong,
pretty much nothing wrong with that. But
nothing wrong with that. But I don't.
That's same-
Again,
yeah.
what's the point of being subscribed to that, right? I mean, that's their choice.
right.
So you want to keep your subscriptions fresh. You want to be able to keep up. The whole idea of subscriptions is to keep up with active channels, right? And it's kind of funny for channels that haven't been updated for more than a year. I look really closely at them, and I think, well, is this someone who I really like and I hope, or someone that I know personally and someone that I hope is going to come back, or is this someone that I only watch the video once anyway, and you decide that. And I've got a bunch of old channels that haven't updated that I'm still subscribed to.
Right.
What is it? We love Karaoke Steve hasn't updated for 7 years, but I want Karaoke Steve to come back.
So you're holding on to that.
I'm holding on. I'm holding on.
I'm holding
Karaoke
on to
Steve.
Hannah Minx.
We all are holding. Well, we try. Yeah, I mean, she did a huge, boost for my channel. So yeah, it's exactly that way. But as you say, it was really cool to go through and find all that old stuff and remember and think,
Yeah.
and think hard about, well, do I watch this, or do I want to follow? Do I want to support this person? And to remember, oh yeah, I love this person. I really want to put this in a good bundle, in a bundle that I want to keep up with.
So what other bundles? Can I ask you
Yeah.
the name of some of your bundles? Just the names. You don't have to.
Well, you can do any bundles that you like, and you can name them
So
anything
you
that
can,
you like.
yeah, you can name your own bundle, but the name, of course, will give away quite a bit.
Oh, okay. So there's two types. So I've got like the MyChan TV itself account, which I manage as well, where I'll put up like how-to videos and stuff like that, and I put sample bundles there based on Social Blade. So basically, the top ranked channels on YouTube I've put into bundles by category. So the top ranked comedy, the top ranked auto, the top ranked, stuff which I might not normally watch, but actually when you watch them, they are kind of interesting. Like fun facts. Fun facts is like a genre on YouTube, and there are all of these videos that these channels that do make nothing but fun facts videos, and they're actually really addictive to watch. Or so I've got that which are like generic and have nothing to do with what I normally watch, but which indicate the most popular current content on YouTube. And then on my Hiko Simon channel, I can tell you what I organized from that. Because it kind of says a little bit about the sort of stuff that I'm subscribed to, I guess. So let me log in and see. There are I made some bundles which were just like, I made a Victor bundle, because you have so many channels, I just put them all in there. So like,
well, these days I only have three
well,
active.
I think lying around you have about 12, but active really
9.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
But so that when I talk to you, I can check. Geez, what videos did you make lately? I can know. There were some channels that I like last week tonight. I like there's a Isaac Arthur. He does like futurism and science fiction. He's really awesome. And I've got a bundle just of that, so I can just click on that and just catch up with all the latest videos from that one channel, because that channel is that good.
So you have a bundle for just one channel?
Yeah, I actually found that's a really cool way to keep up with the channels that have content that I really, really like.
Oh, because you don't have to, it won't accidentally send you off on some other video that you didn't want to watch, or it won't replay a video that's old that you've already seen. It'll actually play them in alphabetical, or I mean in chronological order from the latest to,
or you can reverse.
Right, from the last, well, the one you haven't seen, but it remembers what you've seen last, right?
Because it's the YouTube player, it will remember where you watched up to and where you got up to last, so it'll show that. But it'll only capture the last 10 videos from every channel, because otherwise, it's unlimited. There's no end on some of them. But you can catch up the last 10 videos, going newest to oldest to oldest to newest. But here's mine. Here are my bundles are. So I've got Victor, world, so vloggers from outside of Japan. Music.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, so I distinguish Japan vloggers from world vloggers. I've got surfing channels. I've got channels that are in Japanese. I've got tech related channels. I've got YouTube information, like YouTube help and stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
I've got the party mix. I've got Japan news related stuff, so if I want to watch the weather or the latest news headlines, I've got a bundle of that. I've got comedy. So I've got like Comedy Central and Funny or Die or stuff like that. The Onion. Variety, which is like movie trailers or like the bad lip syncing or something like that. Vice, I quite like Vice. I've got documentaries. I've got rugby related stuff. I've got mixed martial arts. Last week today.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I've got Muay Thai and UFC, and it's really fun to watch fights sometimes. Yeah, so that's what I made. And you can make anything. It's just based on what you subscribe to in the first place.
I had a question for you. If let's say let's say that I made a bundle with Miss Hannah Mix in it, and she hasn't uploaded. I'm looking at my bundle right now for 5 years. Yeah. Just as an example, and let's say that I unsubscribe from her. Is she still in the bundle?
No. There's a lag. If you unsubscribe, that it will stay there. You know what? If you make the bundle, it will work. You won't be able to add her anymore, but. The bundle should still work. The bundle is programmed after you add the channel. It will just go get the information for the channels in the bundle. So, I don't think you could add her if you're not subscribed to her. But once you've added,
if I'm subscribed to her and then I added her, and then let's say that I have that bundle, and then with a bunch of other people, and then I unsubscribe from her, she's still in the bundle, though.
Good question. She's still in the bundle, yeah. And I think you can delete her, and if you delete her, you can't add her back if you're unsubscribed. But I don't think she'll automatically be removed from the bundle if you unsubscribe. But I should test that, actually. I'm not sure.
Okay, cool.
So look, we're coming up. In fact, we're just over an hour now, which is about
the
time
we
want to keep it to. What I'd love from you guys is more ideas for. We want to go more on this theme of it's partly to make people aware of my channel and to think about what cool bundles and share them on the show as a way to promote content that we want to promote and get creators on the show. I don't want to limit it just to Japan, so that's where 2.5 Oyajis is Japanese. The whole idea is I want people to find out about this thing that I made and how useful it is. But at the same time, we're going to talk the same crap that we always talk until YouTube bans us and shuts us down, as they inevitably will. So, you know, give us some ideas of what you think a good, like, new look, a new name for the new look. I'm going to keep working with this really cool interface, and it's probably going to look even cooler next time. So tell us what you'd like.
I like what you did today.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I liked it.
So yeah, you know, look out, new look, 2.5 Oyajis, the Godfathers, the YouTube Godfathers. I kind of like that. I mean, that's a little bit self-aggrandizing, but you know,
You gotta be that way a little bit.
I think you have to be a little bit like that. And honestly, if you look at us, we can't exactly say like well, I wouldn't say like the Gorgeous Brothers or something like that, right? That would be a little bit, you know, people
Misleading.
would unsubscribe immediately after they heard it. But you know, I think people who put cotton balls in our mouths, it's more believable. But anyway, we'll come up with a new name, and we're going to do up the look. We're going to come back weekly, 10:30 p.m. Saturdays, and we're going to get creators. We're going to share content. We're going to share bundles, MyChan bundles, and we're going to talk crap. And you're going to see us both at the same time.
Yeah, I love this new format. Yeah, thanks a lot for making this.
Yeah. So subscribe. I guess I'm going to show you how to set this up so we can do this on your channel as well.
Cool.
And yeah. But it's good to be back.
Well, thanks for joining us this evening on your busy Saturday night. If you're in Japan,
Or Saturday
and if you're
morning,
not,
if
your
you're in
Saturday
America.
morning if you're in America, or wherever else you are.
Or afternoon in Europe.
Those are apparently the only places that exist in the world. So, but anyway.
Yes.
So I'll see you next Saturday then. It'll be the 14th, I believe.
Yes, we are talking crap right now. So I don't know what date it'll be, but yes, we will be back. And yeah, seriously, tune in, support the creators that we promote on the show. Listen, support, subscribe, all that good stuff. And see you next week.
Good night, guys.
So yeah, peace.
Peace out.
Okay, I'm going to end the stream. Boom. Yes.